Yes, we have.
Zoom will randomly divide students into the groups.
Yes, we have checked it.
Check, yes.
We have tested. All it's working.
So you can enter and then go out and enter in another place, right?
Yes, for sure. I think we can start after 10 minutes, yes? About 12 minutes.
Lala Khan.
Yes.
As you see here, the praising made by this person.
It's already stated in there.
Yes, no need to state again.
And
It's like a brand
Yes.
name, yes?
yes, follow it, please. Okay. Abbas, can you please move the presentation to the left side? Because there is, a black.
No. This is not me, it's sharing by Anwarake. Anwarake is sharing this.
Yes, I'm sure.
America is controlling, okay.
So our
We have still 6 participants. When it will be 10, more than 10, I will give the share screen to Abbas.
guys, I will. Can I end the meeting and re-enter?
Yes, well,
Okay, let me end and I will re-enter the Zoom because it's
Okay.
asking to re-enter. Zoom is
Okay.
asking. So I will end and then I will re-enter.
Will you provide us the link or
No, this link.
again, we should
The link.
we can use the same link?
You can use the link which is sent to everyone. Okay.
Is this for 1 hour of course?
This is a separate link, and I will enter from the link which should we enter.
Is the link which we provided in the LRC Telegram channel?
Yes, I will enter to that link. Yes.
Okay. Shall we go out?
Yes, you can. I will just end.
Okay. Yeah.
Свет нормальный, да? Ondan sweatshirt, да? Nasıllar bu? Ovoz o'chirib qo'yamiz. Odam jo'yin qilyapti.
Mana o'zi.
Hamid Amerikani aksentsiyadan.
U boshda hozir olib boshlaydi. Keyin o'rmon bakchiga chiqaradilar olib, keyin Viktoriya boshlaydi. Keyin biografiyani gapiradilar, hamyonlar turib. Hozir birinchilar olib boshlaydi. Aytdim. Hozir yozib. Hozir yana yozing o'zlariga. Bir minut qoldi, bir minutda boshlaymiz xudo xolis. Anaqa Zilola opa ham qo'shildilar, Kamol opa, PG-sertdagichi. Anaqa bir minutlarda boshlaymizmi? Hozir chaqiraman. Alo, PG-sertdagi Zilola opa ham qo'shildilar. hozir bilaman, yaxshi YouTube'ga o'ylayman-da. Boshlayveraman o'ylashni. Hozir tushib ketdilar. Men chaqirib chiqqan tushdim. Anaqa bo'ldilar. Siz sekin gaplashyaptilar pastda. Rosa bitta sirtdan qo'shildi. O'shaga aytayotdilar, aytgancha siz bilan gaplashmoqchilar, anaqa mana anaqa qilib deyaptilar. Nima deydi? Reading Club. Da anaqa nima Global Englishda dars beradilar. Mana maylim dil albatta dedim, keling dedim. Oldin bitta ko'rishim kerak, qanaqa bo'lishini dilar. Men kiring deb linkini berdim. Kirib ko'ring, keyin anaqa paydo bo'ladi sizda ham dedim-da. Bo'ldi, YouTube'ga ulandi. Endi hozir anaqani o'qib qo'yaman.
Ray Douglas Bradbury. He was born in 1920 in Waukegan, Illinois, and he
Bo'ldi. Lola opaga bo'ldi. Bo'ldi, kelding hozir. Hop, davom etdik.
Ну, Камила.
Boshlovni keldilar.
Так, начинаем?
Сейчас в начале там introduction будет Lola там.
Может быть, я просто два слова скажу. Welcome to Reading Club.
Давайте.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear students. Welcome to first virtual Reading Club this academic year. And I want to congratulate you with International Students' Day. So we are organizing this Reading Club during this wonderful event. We are having several activities for this reading club, and the first introduction speech will be delivered by Lola Shadmanova.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon, dear students, colleagues. We are glad to see you again in our reading club sessions. And also, I'm very excited to say that Dr. Victoria Levinske is also with us today. So let me briefly explain to you what we do in our reading club. So our reading club sessions are held once a month, and at the end of this academic year, it will be approximately maybe in April, we will have an awarding ceremony where we will have interesting activities and we'll present gifts and certificates for the most active participants and also facilitators. So usually we invite guest speakers or authors of the books. And the previous year we had very interesting sessions dedicated to the books, Divergent series of books and Harry Potter. Moreover, we had a chance to...
Lola, you are frozen. Lola. Praveen, thank you for joining us.
Sorry, my internet connection is not well. So, also, if you want, you can also facilitate our reading club session. You have just to suggest a book you want to discuss, and we will provide you support from our side. Okay, now let's start this session. And now we have got a warm-up activity, getting to know each other. So we will have to say our name, our position at university, and the book we have recently read, or our favorite book. Okay? So let me start for myself. So my name is Lola. I work at Learning Resource Center at Wyatt, and the recent book I've read is The Alchemist. Okay? And during this session, please be attentive because at the end of this activity, I will ask some questions. Okay? So let me ask from Aziz K.
Yes.
Welcome, Aziz. Please introduce
Hello.
yourself. Hi.
My name is Aziz Kinjaboyev. I work at Team University in the Student Information Support Office.
He is a fresh graduate, yes? Talk that.
Yes, I graduated Westminster University. Now I'm working with Victoria. I'm helping her to make this place also great.
Hey, thank you very much. And the recent book you have read, Aziz?
The book that I have read is The 7 Days of You.
7 days?
7 Days of You.
Okay, thank you very much, Aziz. Can we ask, am I telling correctly, Praveen, right? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm Praveen. I'm a faculty at Team University, and I teach. I'm about to teach about entrepreneurship and innovation, and I read quite a lot of books all through the year. If I may say so, I mean I read about 120 books a year. So it's practically every second I finish off one book, and this is a kind of it's ingrained in me. I mean, I have to read, otherwise I feel very guilty. So the recent book that I have read just now completed is a book called Failing to Succeed. It is a story of failing to succeed. It's a story of an Indian entrepreneur who started the first e-commerce site in the country and how he failed. So it's a story of failure.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. And can we ask from Nazima Saitova? And can I ask all of our participants to switch on their cameras?
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Nazima.
I'm Nazima Saitova. I study at Westminster University, level 4, in the Faculty of Economics with Finance.
Okay.
What you have read, Nazima, recently?
Yeah, or your favorite.
Recently, Бегущий за ветром. I don't know the name in English. The name of the book, I think, is Kite Runner by Khaled Hussain. Yeah. And my favorite book is Consuela by George Sand.
Consuela, right?
Consuela, yes.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing, Nazima. Well, we have got Jorgen Didier, right?
Jorgen, please.
Please unmute yourself.
Right. I'm Jorgen. So the recent book that I've read is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Robert Conway. So this book is about the essential habits and like principles that, not necessarily for successful people, but it's like habits, foundation that will construct and lead to the success, kind of. So I've really enjoyed the stories and storyline behind this book. So, if you wish, I can tell in details, but I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much, Jorgen. I think we can talk about this book if we have got time, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much for sharing. So, can I ask from Kamil Jalila?
Camila, please. Switch on.
Just a moment. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kamil. I'm head of quality assurance here at the university. The book that I have recently read, or actually reread, was The Master and Margarita by Bulgakov. I consider it one of the masterpieces of world literature, so I like returning to this book from time to time. And this is also one of my favorite books.
Okay, thank you very much for again. Well, Ijobat Zilola.
Hello, my name is Ijobat. I have got the second name actually, that is why it is Kiribati.
Okay, welcome,
Zilola, can you switch on the camera?
Ms. Zola, can you switch on the camera?
So I teach developing professional identity. The recent book I have read is Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. It is a book about change and its consequences. And currently, I'm reading Tolstoy. I'm reading it Anna Karenina.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much, Jobat. So the next one is Evie. Am I spelling correctly?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello, Lola. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes, that's me. How are you?
I'm mysterious.
Yes, my name is Evelina, and I am an academic at Kim University. And the recent book that that I have started to read is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett.
Okay, thank you very much. Next one, Jafar Shakir.
Hello.
Jafar, please. Hi.
My name is Jafar. I am level 4 BIS student. And the book I recently read, it's Fahrenheit 451.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. So we have got Nargisa Banu.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nargiza Banu. I'm level 4 student, business management student. And I've recently finished Fahrenheit, but I managed to start another book, which is called Unbroken.
Unbroken by whom?
It's by Laura Hillenbrand.
Okay, thank you very much, Nargisa Banu. Well, the next one is Nargisa Kabilova.
Hello, my name is Nargisa Kabilova. I'm from level 4, PM as well. And currently I'm reading The Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. And I have recently done The Night in Lisbon by Remarque. I'm a huge fan of him. So that's it.
Nargisa, I'm very sorry. Can you please retell us, because my internet connection is not very good, I wasn't able to hear the name of the book.
Which one? I have mentioned 2 of them.
One of them.
Okay. The Night in Lisbon by Remarque.
The Night in the Lisbon. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So the next one, Vladislav. We have got Vladislav also here. Vladislav, can you hear us? Okay. So we have got here 7248 wild. Who is this mysterious guest? 7248.
Who is this ID number? What is the name of this ID number?
It's me, Radmir. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Sorry, what's your
Radmir,
name?
okay, Radmir, nice to see you again. Please show,
Radmir,
show us
okay.
your face.
Just tell the book you have
Brother,
read.
hear me. No, I can see you. No, I can see you all right.
So can you tell us the book, your favorite book or your recently read book? Radmir?
I don't think that his connection is good.
Yes.
Okay, Radmir.
Yes, Radmir?
Excuse me.
Radmir, what you have read recently?
Okay. Recently.
I'll write it in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I cannot. You will write, right?
So he will write in a chat because his connection is not good.
Okay, let's listen to Sultan Murad. Sultan Murad, can you hear us? I guess no. So, who we missed, guys? Can you tell us?
Show the participants like
I think we have asked everybody. Can we ask from our boss?
Okay. So my name is Abbas, and I am a blended learning specialist at White LRC. And recently, I have read also the Fahrenheit 451.
Okay, thank you very much, Abbas.
Thank you.
So, so let's ask how attentive you were. Let me ask, who read the book Anna Karenina from our peers?
Was it Nargisa Bonu?
Nargisa Bonu, can you tell us? Nargisa Bonu. No? Okay. Another options? Guys?
Just want to interrupt you. We received from the chat that Radmir has read The History of a City by Saltykov-Shchedrin. That's a satirical novel by famous Russian, writer.
Okay. So, no answers, guys? Anna Karenina? Okay, so the owner of the book, can you please tell your name? Who read this book?
I'm Zilola, yes.
Okay, yes, thank you very much, Ijoba. Okay, so the next book, Good Omens by Pratchett. Who read this book?
Okay, among participants, please.
All our participants, yeah.
Yeah, be active.
No idea?
Okay.
Can I tell the first letter? It is E.
Is it Evelina?
Yeah.
Evelina, is it you?
Okay, Evelina is...
Yes, it's me. Yes, good job. Very attentive you are. Good job.
Thank you. Well, who read Master and Margarita?
Kamil Jalilov.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you. Kai Fana?
That was Nozima.
Yes, it's correct.
Yes.
Okay. The Night in the Lisbon?
Nargiza Kabilova, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, correct. Fahrenheit 451?
Abbas Utkirov.
And
Zafar.
Jafar, right?
Is Zafar here?
Jafar, yes.
Jafar, yes,
Jafar.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Who read the Unbroken?
Was it
Nargiza.
Hidorov, Yorkin?
Nargiza Bonu.
Nargisa Bonu, right.
Okay, Sense of Habit?
Not Sense of Habit, 7 Habits of Highly Effective.
Okay. Sorry.
That would be me.
Now we know who has read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my internet connection is not very good. I'm at home now. Okay,
Yeah, that's
thank you
okay.
very much, Arthur. Okay. Failing to succeed.
Failing to succeed.
Framing, yes.
Frank Karim. Okay, thank you. And 7 Days of You. Is it correct?
Yes, it's correct.
And it is? Okay. Thank you. So, let me pass the floor to Victoria and let's start our session, which is dedicated to a book called Fahrenheit 451.
Okay.
Please, Victoria.
Thank you, Lola, very much. We have started our reading club with Ray Bradbury because Ray Bradbury is celebrating, if he would be alive, 100th anniversary. He was born on 22nd of August of 1920. So he lived for 91 years old, and if he would be alive, he would be 100 years old. I just want to announce agenda, what we are going to talk about. We are going to spend like 5 minutes about biography, and you are going to see a video about Ray Bradbury, about the most interesting facts of his biography. And then we are going to talk about Fahrenheit 451, in details about the characters, about the characters, about the plot, about the scenes. Then we are going to have a short quiz and some group activities. So this is what you are expecting today. Have you heard about Ray Bradbury, and have you read any of his other books? Please tell me.
Yes, for sure.
All right. What kind of books you have read?
Dandelion Vine.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of perfect.
It's kind of perfect. All right.
Yeah.
We actually, in our reading club, quite keen on dystopias. This is probably the 4th or 5th dystopia we are studying. And I think that, 20th century is quite full of dystopias, because those, different troubles and problems which were experienced people during the 20th century, they led to this type of literature. But talking about Ray Bradbury, he was born to quite a simple family, and the family was living in Midwest and didn't have much money. So Ray Bradbury, he was studying and he was self-learned. What he was doing? He was going to the libraries. Instead of college, he was going to the libraries 3 times a week, reading whatever he could find, and, exploring on his own the world literature, and, doing his mindset. He was quite an interesting person. When he was 14 years old, he started to write gigs. So gig is a kind of American slang when you are writing lyrics for, jazz bands or some street musicians. So he was kind of good at that, and he was making money. Instead of selling hot dogs, he was writing a lot, these kind of things. And in 1942, being 20 years old, he already started to publish his first stories. He's quite an interesting person. He met a girl in the library, because that was the only place he was going to. And she was also working in a bookshop, helping people to find and identify the book they are looking for. So when he was 22, he met her, invited for the coffee, then invited for the dinner, then invited for the, then they got married and lived 56 years together with 4 daughters. That was the only girl he ever invited anywhere. That was his story. Among his, stories, of course, Fahrenheit. I want to, want to continue. So I have some slides from Ray Bradbury, his marriage. Her name was Margaret McClare, and they married in 1947 with 4 daughters, with 4 beautiful daughters. When they are, he was dying, all 4 daughters were by his bed. Another, he wrote a lot of short stories. A lot of them were actually, filmed, and including the 451 Fahrenheit. So I was watching both movies, 1966 and 2018. The plot of 1966 much closer to the original story, but 2018 is quite interesting as well. He was getting a lot of awards, and he got Pulitzer, which is a kind of the highest possible you can get in the United States as a writer. He was giving a star in the Walk of Fame in Los Angeles, because Los Angeles was his hometown for whole his life. Yes, he was living there all the time. And he was writing in, 451 being in Los Angeles as well. Interesting that he was thinking about bringing his ashes to Mars in the soup container. And this dream was realized. He died in June 12, 2012. And when the rover was sent to Mars in October 2012, by NASA, some of his ashes were, taken to Mars. So when you are looking at Mars, you can see Ray Bradbury as a bright star, as a bright planet. Interesting other stories, about Ray Bradbury. He was a friend of Walter Disney. And actually a lot of ideas about future, which were in Walter Disney's movies or cartoons, they were, discussed with Ray Bradbury and what he was doing. Actually, he was giving a lot of interesting ideas. He was very keen on Disney parks. He was thinking that if the Disney parks would be the real life thing, that would be much better planet than he was exposing, now. Although he was kind of gloomy, but, in terms of his writing, so most of the predictions he made, they were not very kind of, bright and rosy. However, all the predictions which he made in 451 Fahrenheit in terms of technology development, in terms of development of the mindset of the people who become dependent on technology, were kind of realized. We can see it around ourselves. Thanks God we are not burning the books. However, the physical libraries are disappearing and giving, way to the electronic libraries. Talking about other facts of his biography, we can come to the, to the video. So Lola, what am I supposed to do, with the video? So I have to go.
Can you click on the biography?
Uh-huh.
Can you enter the biography bubble? Yes. No. The biography. Escape.
Okay, that's biography, so okay.
No, it is quiz. Biography.
Mm-hmm.
And it is number 4, video. Can you see? Video.
So this is biography. I go to...
Can you see the video? No. Just a moment, I will
Yes, yes, can you help me with video, please, Anwar? Because I haven't seen this.
Just click on the YouTube link.
Okay.
Like, please.
Just wait a second.
Ray Douglas Bradbury. He was born in 1920 in Waukegan, Illinois, and he died at age 91 in Los Angeles in 2012. His hometown is memorialized in Dandelion Wine and Something Wicked This Way Comes as a town called Greentown. He sees it as a safe place, a place of childhood. Yet odd things happen. His family was working class, and they moved between Waukegan and Tucson, Arizona several times as his father was able to find work. Eventually they moved in 1934 to Los Angeles, where they stayed. Bradbury had a fabulous memory, and he writes about details from his childhood as he sought out the company of movie stars, snuck into movies, and began reading and writing voraciously. One of his first magazine stories was published in Mademoiselle. He claimed that he only wrote one science fiction novel, Fahrenheit 451. Many of his other stories were fantasy. He resisted calling himself a science fiction writer, instead believing that he was merely a writer, like any other. His most famous novel, the one read by nearly every high school student, is Fahrenheit 451. It was first published as a novella, The Fireman, and then as a novel in 1953. It is considered a dystopian novel, where firemen burn books instead of saving houses. Reading books is illegal because they make people unhappy. People really just want to be happy. which means that they want to be entertained. And books provide too much conflict. The government didn't just ban books, though.
Dear participants, we are finishing our 40 minutes of Zoom. Can you please, again, come into, using the same link? After 1 minute, again, to use this link to, come again into the session, okay?
Yes, you just have to re-enter and that's all, okay?
Just using the same link.
Bradbury blames such censorship on what he calls minorities, groups of people that are offended by some part of a work. Ironically, Fahrenheit 451, too, has been one of the most banned books in the United States. When he died in 1912, the New York Times claimed that he made science fiction mainstream. That is because he was not a typical science fiction author. Instead, he was more like a mainstream author that used science fiction. His stories were so popular that they were adapted in many, many television shows, as well as other mediums, including plays, comic books, and movies. He received many honors as well. Bradbury was married for 56 years to Marguerite McClure, known as Maggie, and the couple had 4 daughters. And then he died after prolonged illness in 2012. The next day, President Barack Obama said, quote, "For many Americans, the news of Ray Bradbury's death immediately brought to mind images from his work, imprinted in our minds often from a young age. His gift for storytelling reshaped our culture and expanded our world. But Ray also understood that our imaginations could be used as a tool for better understanding, a vehicle for change, and an expression of our most cherished values. There is no doubt that Ray will continue to inspire many more generations with his writing."
So please re-enter. It's finishing in 45 seconds.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
So I'll stop sharing. Maybe it automatically. It's continuing, but it's not stopping.
Just leave.
Let's continue. It's not. Let's go. Yeah, we can continue actually.
So,
Да, вот. Это мы что-то.
как это ошибок?
Recording, вот это save сделай. Давайте это обратно зайдем туда. А у нас был бесконечный, безлимитный, что-то сезонный. Анaqalar tugadi da.
Безлимитный, ребят, $15 стоит. Я это себе купила.
Мы же с университетского взяли, да? Я сориман, да. Нет. Сезонный, да? Нет.
А уже data
So we are waiting for everybody to come back. Welcome back.
Да, можно уже сейчас.
Yeah, so we are, everybody is back, so we are continuing our presentation. So life of Ray Bradbury was quite interesting, although it was very stable. One marriage, one city to live, the main book, one theme, kind of, but he was lived a long life and very interesting, and he was sort of mainstreamer in science fiction, and many of his books were filmed. All right, let's talk about 451 Fahrenheit. Why do you think you have read this book? All you have read this book. Вот он мне отбил биографию, нам надо уже следующий. Нет, можно уже этот... Вы посмотрели, теперь concentrated form. All right. You have been reading this book, and why do you think it is called 451?
May I?
Yes, please.
Well, the main reason is that, like, in 451 Fahrenheit degrees, the paper will combust and catch fire. Although it's not, like, technically true, but the main point of that, I guess.
Okay, so you can burn a book at this temperature, yes?
Yeah, which is 233 Celsius.
Okay,
degrees.
233 Celsius. Now we know what... We've got some new information. Thank you, Joachim. Okay, what do you think? What is the main plot? What is this book is about? Okay, so what you have introduced, with what you have introduced when you were reading it. We call it a science fiction. Do we have science? Yes, we have science that the book is crouching when it is 451 Fahrenheit. What is scientific about this, this story? What do you think?
It's about the technology. In the near future, dystopian future, where like the technology, internet, where in the story it's called N9. The internet will cause like the very massive unload of information, and like technology is related because they are only watching and getting informed by TV. Like in the movie, it's called Yangtze. Like there was a helper if you've seen. So I guess.
Yes, despite absolutely, Joachim, thank you very much. Despite of that, Bradbury was writing about technology. He was not keen on computers, and he was not keen on television. The book was written in 1951. So when all this era just started to rise, era of television, era of technological and mass media coming into every single home, just started to rise. And also, he was thinking that this technology is mostly made for entertainment, not for deeper thinkers. And in the story, it is actually, seeing that the Montag, his wife, Mildred, she's half asleep all the time, by watching television nonstop. And when she's not watching television, she's listening to the music, to the popular music, putting that eggplant in her, planting this thing into her ear, which is kind of, in 2021, sounds very familiar what is going on. My daughter never ever leaving her Apple, anywhere. So it's always in her ear, or she's, watching what is going on in Instagram or TikTok. So she is quite familiar, And Mildred, who is living this half asleep, she is taking too many sleeping pills as well, because she is not able to broke with that everyday routine which she is doing. Yes, absolutely. Technology is very important. Another scene is sort of what we call this totalitarian and dystopian society. So when we are calling about totalitarian society, this society is controlled by a governor. So totalitarian society, we all know, it's a kind of place when the one authoritarian leader is deciding for everybody. Once upon a time, Immanuel Kant was writing about it in his works. He was saying that the worst type of society is totalitarian patriarchate, when the leader thinks that he is a father and his folks is just children who need to be taken care of, but he or she should, take all the decisions, based on their own understanding how society should develop. Another, he's talking about totalitarian society, but he is trying to compare it with dystopian society, which he projected. So, in his dystopia, what is dystopia? There are two types of predicting future, let's put it that way. The one is utopian. Utopian is something which you are predicting future being bright and rosy, with harmony, with the people understanding each other, with harmony with nature and things like that. Dystopian is a kind of contrary. It is a dark vision of the future when you see something which you would not like, if you are living in this society. So in dystopian society, which he prognoses, some of the trends, what he saw in American life, he was trying to project in his work. So, for example, the situation which is going on in one unnamed American town, yes? He wrote this book in 1951 when it was McCarthyism. For those who doesn't know what the period of the history it was, after the Second World War, McCarthy was trying to break up with any type of communist or socialist ideas, and he was declaring that those ideas are as bad as fascist ideas, if even not worse. So they started the headhunting of those who were trying to read the books which are not approved by American society, and this list of books was quite short at school during the McCarthyism period. And those who were, those who were thinking differently, they were blamed and they were accused that they are communists, and some of them were even put in prison or they were even executed. It was some famous cases. So those kind of things were happening in the United States at that time in 1951. And in his dystopian society, Ray Bradbury tried to investigate what will happen if United States will continue in the same path. And he came to the idea that everything, apart of those 3 books, would be forbidden. So Bible was not forbidden, though. And Moby Dick as well. So I was thinking why this short list, of 3 books were included, this kind of different reading, yes? So, happiness is a truth, he said that in dystopian society. Ignorance is a bliss. If you don't know anything, if you don't have your own opinion, if you don't have your own ideas, you're happy. It means that you are doing things well, in the society. Okay. What do you think? Praveen, what do you think about this, dichotomy, when the totalitarian versus dystopian? What is your opinion about it?
Yeah. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking me. The way I look at it, this work of Ray Bradbury is particularly look at how he was placed way back in the 1950s when he wrote this book. So if you look at the period, you will realize that it is he comes from a perspective of propaganda. Okay, Nazi propaganda was pretty huge during that time in the early 30s, during the early 30s and 40s. So he has picked from that concept to say that individuals are no more accepted. It is the individual with an intellect is generally considered an outlaw. Okay, so the whole idea was to ensure that television replaces the common ways in which people perceive things. Okay, so the whole idea of controlling masses, okay, with media was far more important than making people intelligent or allowing people to become intelligent by reading So books are considered kind of evil, because they make people question, they make people think, and that is not a good thing for the propagandists. Okay, so this is basically the background that he had in mind probably when he wrote certainly 4-5 months.
Okay, thank you. Any other ideas about, why this dystopian novel was kind of, evolving this type of idea that the books are evil which need to be burned? Okay, Evelina, yes, please, Praveen.
Yes, see, if you talk about books, it's many to one. If you talk about television, it is one to many. In the sense, like if you have a television and you run your propaganda or whatever it is, whatever communication you want to pass, the medium is only one, and then there are hundreds of people who would watch it and understand it. But if you allow people to write, there are hundreds of people who would probably write. So, and these hundreds of people would probably reach out to those what we call impressionable minds, okay, and then try to make them intelligent. They'll make them think. So this is precisely the contradiction that existed during those times, and that is precisely why he felt that propagandists find a kind of upper hand when they run programs of influence, mind influence, through mass media rather than through books.
Okay, thank you, Praveen. Right. Okay.
Can I make an addition to the totalitarian society?
Yes,
which
please.
was discussed now?
Yes, please.
The weird thing is that this kind of society exists today. We all heard about the culture in North Korea, which is strictly controlled by the state, to the point where citizens are unable or morally unable to obtain books or other forms of art produced outside the country. This is because the North Korean government doesn't want its citizens to be offered alternative knowledge to the narrative the government has given them. So it's astonishing to read the book, which was written 70 years ago, and compare this book with the society in nowadays, I think. So it's really impressive.
Okay. Thank you, Nazima, a lot for your addition.
May I also include...
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, Kamil Jalilov and Yurkin, you after Kamil, okay? Let's do it.
Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And one interesting thing about all dystopias is that at the first glance, the society seems quite prosperous and people seem quite happy. But this is at the first glance, because when you go on reading further and understand that what is in fact going on, you come to understand that this is not the society that you would want to live in. So it's kind of, on the surface, it's kind of a prospering, a happy society. But if you go deeper, if you analyze it, you see that everything is controlled by one person or a group of people who don't take into consideration what others want, who want to impose their ideas, their beliefs on everyone. And I think it comes from Herbert Wells' Time Machine, because if you have read this book in Time Machine, the time traveler goes to a distant future, where he sees a society which seems to be prospering, but he understands that people who live happily on the ground are kind of food for people living underground.
Yes,
they are feeding them like shepherds.
Yes, absolutely, I agree with you, Kamil. All dystopian novels having this kind of thing that when the society is very much controlled and structured, people are not deeply involved into administration. Here it is the same. Okay, Yurkin, what do you think about this concept, about totalitarian versus in dystopian society?
Well, I totally agree with Camille's and Praveen's opinions. I mean, yeah, sure, like at a glance, dystopian, I mean, the main difference, like, both of them, dystopian and utopian, both of them kind of, it's like imaginary future. And at a glance, it seems like people are living a happy life, as it was the case in, like, Ray Bradbury's, like, for this book. But then after a while, people realized, like, at a glance, they seem to be happy. Like, throughout this book, he actually develops so many multiple themes, like, through main character like Guy Montag. He also develops into his own personality throughout the book. He progresses. He kind of helps to add emphasis to several themes, including like censorship, like alienation, real versus fake, and life versus death, maybe religious values, technological advancement, and paradoxes. So the futuristic society that Bradbury developed showed that people are afraid of criticism, do not think for their own, and also like fail to see what is true and what is fake, depend on more technology than themselves, and fear knowledge in general, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
You've been talking about censorship. Let's talk about the concept, more. Because he was, Red Bradbury was trying to bring this concept, but it doesn't actually censorship, this concept, yes, this is very important because the burning the books is the kind of highest level of censorship. So in the censor usually, forbids to write something and takes it over from your book. Actually, Ray Bradbury himself was censored so many times. And his books were banned, by many states in the United States. So he was going through this experience himself. And he was considering that the burning the whole book, when not even one word is allowed, is a kind of, also type of censorship, which is a kind of extreme form. And he was thinking that why people started to burn the books, why it happened. He doesn't explain, but I think that there are a number of factors why he was doing it. The first group of factors, as Praveen said, that it is many to one. Yes, so every book expresses the opinion of one author, and they can be contradicting, and they can be, debatable and stuff like that. So that's a thing that the usually totalitarian system doesn't allow, it doesn't approve. And the second thing that I assume it is enviness. So when you are reading a book of somebody who is superior than you in terms of the world outlook, in terms of the thinking abilities and stuff like that, you are not feeling equal. And in this society, equality is in ignorance. So when you are living this, watching the television, you are equal to anybody else because you are just, kind of absorbing the information which already been given to you or digested for you. Here you have to think for yourself. Those factors are very important in terms of perceiving the Ray Bradbury's work of, and this particular 451. What do you think, anybody can talk and can add to this?
Victoria, now we have got a quiz.
Okay, sorry guys. Now we have a quiz. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have got a quiz. And Hamid, please instruct us what should we do.
Hello, dear students. Hello, dear colleagues. I'll be facilitating to the following quiz. If you look to the chat, or I will also share instructions here. So, can you see the instructions? Yeah. So, all you have to go go in your browser nearpod.com. upon entering the website, you'll be asked to enter code. This is a GHYNA to the student mode. Afterwards, you have to type your name. So this quiz is online and consists of 15 questions. All questions related to the book that we're discussing today with you. We'll give you 3 minutes to complete. Whoever gets the correct answers within 3 minutes, this person will be the winner. I hope instructions are clear. If you don't understand or have questions, then please address them to me. So we'll be waiting until you enter your names, and then I will proceed to the start.
Sorry, may I ask a question? So we should join like a student, right? And enter their code.
Yes. Enter the code to the student mode, and then type your name. In this way, we'll recognize you. So let's check names. So we have Evelina, Yoba, Jurayeva, Jafar, Kamil, Muklisa, Nargiza Borno, Nazima, Yorkan, Aziz. So everyone succeeded to enter Nearport?
Radmir is asking just a moment.
Okay, let's wait for the Radmir.
Teacher is coming, yes? It is a plagiarism.
Just for checking.
Radmir?
Радмир?
So waiting for Radmir.
Половина участников я привела в стиму, да?
Да, вот Азиз.
Азиз, да, Эвелина.
Джафар, Эвелина.
Still loading?
Камиль.
Okay, let's wait.
Равин. Еркин, да, да. 5 человек я, остальные Ларсида. И Назима, да. Назима тоже моя девочка, я ее приучила к Reading Club. И она ко мне 3 года ходила заниматься.
Она, да, любит. У нее экзамен, хотя у нее экзамен, она зашла. Она сказала, я можете не быть, потому что у меня экзамен.
Okay, shall we proceed?
Yes.
Let's move. I hope Radmir will succeed to catch up. Okay, we'll start now. You'll have 3 minutes to complete the quiz. Let's start. 3, 2, 1. So on my screen, you can see how all participants are proceeding, how successful you are in general. Okay, I have to switch it off for the time being because it shows the correct answer. Yeah, okay. So let's
turn it on.
I'll turn it off for the time being. Otherwise, it's unfair. We'll see the results at the end, if you don't mind.
Mildred.
Şey, öyle. Doğru. Oradan yedim bir saniye. Sözde bir saniye istiyorum.
How can we move to the next question?
So you'll see there's an arrow to the next one. I think it's blue.
Next button.
Next button. Just type on the right side the next button.
I think it should be next there on
Yeah.
the bottom itself as well.
There is a next button. You should click on it.
So there is a next button. You should click on this.
Can you see?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It's down.
First name,
Guy.
What was the name of the poem? Read to the three.
Тебе не помню. Forgotten Dreams.
Mr. Bantafuan, the great poem who cried.
Тебе не помню. Клариса, да.
Yes.
Кларис Максим. You have less than 1 minute.
Seconds.
40 seconds.
It's 7 seconds.
Twenty seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
All right. Time's up. Yeah. Let's see the results together. So we have a winner. So this person is Radmir. Yeah, I think 13 out of 15.
Wow.
And yeah, Evelina 11, second place.
What about Praveen? Nine, yes, 9 out.
Yeah.
And Jafar then.
Second, third is Yorkan and Nargiza Kabilova. Jafar. So I hope you enjoyed the quiz, and I'll give the stage again to the Victoria.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So you were very attentive writers because the quiz was included a lot of details regarding the characters of the novel. Let's move on to the central themes of our book. We've been already started to talk about censorship and the ignorance is bliss, ignorance versus knowledge. Anybody can answer the questions. What are the something that get censored in today's society? What do you think? Does censorship sounds familiar to you? And what is censored now? Anybody can answer this question. Camille?
I believe.
Nargiza Banu, please.
Yeah. I think everything is censored today, even social media accounts. Sometimes, especially in Uzbekistan, we have shutdowns of social media accounts from time to time, which happens because of censorship, of course. And then, YouTube and all other softwares and everything, they try to censor as well. Well, maybe it's good for us, maybe it's bad, but still it exists everywhere. And books also, even today, especially in times when, especially in the US, in times when there's a lot of talk about discrimination and equality between genders kind of stuff, I guess they also are very careful about books on the topics, and they definitely don't publish those kind of books. Either they just reject such offers, or they just cut off the parts like censorship.
Okay, thank you, Nargiza Banu. I have another question. Does we need censorship or freedom of speech, means that everything you can, you think about can be published.
May I?
Yes, please.
Well, I guess at some point we need censorship because current situation that is occurring throughout the world, especially in Europe and the Western countries, showed us how the society without less censorship the consequences were quite. It was bad for society. I think censorship is actually helpful at some point. I'm not going for censorship. We have a right, we have a freedom, but middle class society, they don't have a perspective or so many background information about something. They have just, if they heard one information, if the information was intended for propaganda, they'll go for it because they don't know background information for that. So that's why it's better to censor some stuff for avoiding better good. So, yeah.
Thank you.
May I also add
yes.
something?
Yes, please, Aziz.
Concerning the censorship, I don't think it's a good idea because these kind of rules that establish that some things should be shown, some things not be shown, are also written by a particular person and by his opinion. For example, I'm talking about Uzbekistan. For example, some Turkish serials that are shown in the local channels, due to some experts' opinion, some parts were blurred, or some even scenes were not even shown, something like this. Even with the social media and everything. So I think censorship can be established if it is done by the opinion of society or something.
Okay, all right. So another...
Can I add?
Yes, please.
I agree that there should... censorship is when it's somebody's opinion and everyone has to follow this opinion cannot be accepted because, for example, someone doesn't like Turkish soap operas. Why should everyone follow this person? This is quite clear, I think. But on the other hand, censorship, it's not kind of censorship, but there should be rules that, for example, freedom of speech cannot distort someone's rights or they cannot hurt someone's feelings. For example, what happens sometimes in France when religious feelings of Muslims are offended by publishing cartoons on Prophet Muhammad. So there should be some rules which stop people from humiliating or from hurting other people's religious beliefs or personal feelings. And everyone should follow these rules. But I wouldn't call this censorship. But on the other hand, yes, if someone doesn't like, let's say, Turkish soap operas, or if someone doesn't like, scenes of kissing in American movies, why should everyone follow this person's opinion?
Okay, thank you very much, Camille. Anybody else? Praveen actually, supported this idea. He said that anything which goes against religion is censored universally. So the religious beliefs and the religious sentiments are the most kind of fragile, and anything which can ruin it is usually in the world is censored. Thank you, Praveen. Anybody else can add to this? Another things which we want to discuss is about happiness. As we say that in this book, happiness is ignorance is a bliss, happiness is ignorance. And those people who are possessing knowledge are considered to be the enemy of the society and very dangerous for the society. So, I have some question to you. If ignorance bliss, or do knowledge and learning provide true happiness, or just ignorance can provide it? Because they're saying that, happiness is a truth and stuff like that. What do you think? Can knowledge provide you with happiness? Or only ignorance can? Praveen, what do you think?
I think both of them, knowledge as well as ignorance. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, so I feel that one, ignorance is really bliss because right now I don't know anything about Uzbekistan. I'm coming to Uzbekistan towards the end of the month. So I'm very happy. I don't know what happens there, but once I get knowledge of how Uzbekistan operates, probably I'll have different kind of happiness. The point I'm trying to make here is, yes, I mean, it depends on how you perceive both ignorance as well as knowledge. And this is a kind of knowledge is a double-edged sword. That's what I feel. The more knowledge you have, the more you are tensed, the more fragile you become, and that becomes a dangerous thing. The more ignorant you are, when you are ignorant, you simply don't know what is happening. So you are happy in your own mind. So you feel that everything is cozy, everything is rosy, right? So there is no straight answer to this.
Okay, so
knowledge
Praveen, I understand the measure is your keyword, yes, in this. You have to have measure, either in ignorance or knowledge, yes? We are having to lose this session in 2 minutes. Please re-enter again because we have more activities to, yes. After 2 minutes, it's going to lose, you have to re-enter. Okay. So destroying books is destroying knowledge. What do you think? What kind of outcomes it will bring? What kind of consequences for the society? So we see only one brigade of firemen who are just destroying the books. Let's imagine that all books are destroyed. What is going to do? What is happening next? Do you have any imagination to predict what is happening next?
May I?
Yes.
I also, yes.
Yurkin and Aziz.
I can proceed, you can proceed.
Yes, first come.
Okay. In the very book, the author also represented the outcomes of burning those books. Well, it has there are two sides, both negative and positive sides. Negative sides are people will not have their own idea or knowledge. They don't have freedom, and they will be forced to see, watch, and think what they were intended to. On the positive side, there are also negative sides either, but on the positive, if all the books will burn, all the good and bad scars of the history will also be destroyed. As in the book, the Bradbury mentioned, in the United States, black people, we know the history of how black people are treated. So if that history is burned, people won't remember about it, and they don't know the difference between black and white. It's like.
Let's go, please re-enter. Да, конечно. Мы купили, у нас сейчас мы проводим большое мероприятие. Я купила себе аккаунт за $15, Zoom аккаунт.
Для себя, да?
Да, чтобы проводить.
О, конечно, молодцы. Все сразу.
It is instant, thing that, this is, I think, that the last time we are doing it because our third session would not be longer than 40 minutes. So thank you for coming back. Aziz, now your turn. What do you think about it?
If we're talking about this particular book, I agree totally with the opinion of Yorka. So yes, some really not good situation might happen in a society. But if we're talking about the current situation in the world we live, I think we have electronic books. I mean, books will not be disappeared at all. It isn't possible.
Okay.
So I think this question itself is not applicable in this current society.
So technology has solved Yes,
In the book, like they've also burned all the microchips, the hardwares where all those books are stored, like the futuristic way in 2018 movie. They've burned all the microchips, hardwares, and like the storages that books are stored. And at the end of the movie, they came up with the idea, like eels, like they called eels, like people who read. Eels came up with the idea of capturing and igniting all of the information in a DNA of the bird.
Yes. Yes, yeah, in this,
Okay.
yes, I agree.
Can I also share?
Yes, Evelina, please.
Yes, I am sorry, but I don't agree with Jurkin, because if we forget the pillars of our history, philosophy, logics, if we are going to burn even the bad sides of humanity, I don't know, fascism, we will forget about it. How can we? Like about discrimination of African Americans, we should remember it in order not to have the same mistakes again. We should keep in mind, we should tell our younger generation that happened and it shouldn't happen again. We should compare, analyze, evaluate in order to avoid the mistakes that we had.
Okay, thank you, Evelina. I agree with you. Different societies try to find, the way to start from the blank page. It's never worked. We have to build on the history, on the knowledge, on the culture which we are possessing. Yes, I agree with you. All right, anybody else to add to this to this discussion? If not, we have another activity for you. It is a group activity, and our boss is going to talk about the rules of this activity. What are you going to do?
Yes. Now we will have a question and answers. So I'm going to divide you to two groups randomly. The software will divide you into randomly. And now I will share the link with you on the chat. 1 second. And you will be given 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the group will automatically break down and you will come back to this, our main group. So I need 2 team leaders for each group. So who will be the team leader for the first group?
Who's in the first group?
Let me see. So let's make that for the first group.
First divide.
Okay, let me divide on. Yes, that's right.
Because it will randomly choose.
1 second. Okay.
Nargiza Kabilova, can I ask you to be the group leader of the first group?
So Nargiza Kabilova, you are the team leader for the first group. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Okay.
Okay, and for the second group, Evelina, you are the second group leader. So I'm using totalitarian method by appointing the team leaders instead of choosing them, okay, by yourself.
So you will have 10 minutes. So you can discuss. So for the first group, you have only the first and second questions. I have sent on the chat. You can open it. Can you open that, team leaders?
Can they share their screens, Abbas?
1 second, yeah. I have sent it to the chart, so now I'm sharing the screen. So
I see 4 questions, right?
Yes, that's right, Evelina. And Nargiza, can you see also have you opened the link?
Yes, I
You
have.
open it, yes? So then, if you are ready, I will open the rooms. So you will have 10 minutes.
Okay, 2 questions. Yes?
Yes, first and second questions for the first group,
And the third and
third
the
and
fourth
fourth for
for the second group.
For the second group. If it's clear,
How
let
do we
me
know
start.
which group we are allocated in?
Force.
Yes, you will know. You will just click join. I made it randomly. Okay, the software made it automatically. Okay.
Just join the group and you will see in which group you are.
Yes, that's right. Let's go. We can also join to the set groups to see what are they doing. So they should first accept. And joined. Salahuddin joined. Safar, Lola joined. They are, I think, waiting. In this group, Evelina should join. Yes, they should join. Not joined, only this person. Still,
There's no Anna.
they should click join.
Can Jalil not join? And Radmir has not.
Aziz, please join to the group.
Aziz, Radmir.
Yes. Radmir, please join. Just click on. They have ready and only 2 left. Aziz and Radmir, can you join to the groups? Are they away?
Может быть, Азиза там позвали куда-нибудь, он же работает.
Может быть, кто-то ушел. Radmir, can you hear us? Radmir.
Okay.
Okay. Can we see what they are doing? We can join. Join, yes. Let's see what are they doing.
So you can talk and you can discuss. You can.
Yeah, we're thinking.
Yes, they're thinking. Yes, you are reading the
Yeah, we
questions.
decided
Yes.
to have some time, yeah, to think.
Okay.
Let's join second group. We can join second group also, what they are doing to watch.
Yes, spying.
Yeah.
Political situation. We do remember the time when it was a Cold War between the Soviet Union and the United States happening, and they were showing their strengths. Most of them were showing their strengths. Yes, about what also, and we shouldn't forget about the time of Stalin when he wanted to impose that totalitarian system into the Soviet Union, and we know that all other countries blamed the Soviet Union, yes, for their system and having this kind of political regulations. Can it be connected to these things?
Okay, thank you. It's your butt, right? Okay, appreciate. Well done. Anyone else? Maybe we can look.
Let's join to that group which are thinking still, yes. They are still thinking, I think.
Just want to tell you that the group leader need to answer these questions on behalf of your group.
Only group
Or you,
leader
I mean, you can
should
appoint anybody, but the group leader who has to summarize what the group was discussing during this breakdown session.
Okay, I got it. So guys, have you finished? Can we start discussing?
You know, there are multiple steps, and I have read this book about 20 years back. So let me recall whatever I have read. So
It's okay. We can recall together. It is totally okay.
So for first step, probably I could lay the structure for this. So the first step is like when he meets Clarice on day one. and follows it up with a meeting the very next day. He tries to his perspective actually tries shaping up. When he realizes that Clarice relishes the books and is antithetical to his professional compulsions. That could be the first step. The second step could be his wife's insolence, the way she behaves with him. Okay, that could be the second step. The third step is when he realizes that Clarissa has died, in an accident, and that actually moves him a lot. Okay, a person who was pretty much antithetical to his own views, she dies. So that could be the third step. The fourth one is when he realizes that every time, he has been picking one book or the other whenever he goes and throws blame on the books. So he tries to burn the books. So once when he goes, I don't recollect it correct. He tries to burn a black woman's house, I guess. That's where he picks another book and he gets it to his home and realizes that there is a lot that the book can offer. And his boss realizes his boss Betty. Okay, he comes and tells him that, listen, you are supposed to burn the book and not hold the book. Okay, and not read the book. And when he goes to Dr. Faber or Professor Faber and discusses with him, that is when he realizes the importance of books, and that slowly changes his mind. So these are 4 or 5 steps. I'm really sorry. I read this book about 20 years back, so I'm not.
No, it's okay. I'm so shocked. You have got a great memory and everything so right. So you answered for the first and second question immediately. And I'm so surprised the steps, how you divide it. I'm just I'm level 4 and I'm not so professional at all this stuff. I mean teamwork with those people who I don't know. But anyway, thank you.
How about every person learning a book from the beginning till the end? So each person is a book, right? That's also a metaphor, kind of. How do you think?
You mean each person is a book? What do you mean?
Yes, I mean that each person learned a book at the end, if you remember. Each person lost some kind of book, right? So if you kill that person, if that person is lost, it means the book is also lost.
Yeah, he kind of resembled at the end those eels, people who read if you burn a book, it doesn't matter. No matter if you're burning it, we've already memorized it. We've enlightened it into ourselves. It's like killing the books. It's like killing a live person, kinda. Yes.
Right, exactly. Or if they would lose a person, right, they would lose a book. So a book equals a person. Right? Okay, all right. How about have you seen any movies that relate to this? I don't mean that this exactly Fahrenheit 451, but there are several movies that are about this, right? About burning, about controlling society.
Yeah, there is another book, I would say. The book written by George Orwell, that's English, right? And the book's name is 19. Yes, and the book's about totalitarian regime.
I want also add. I have seen the movie. Perhaps you've seen Equilibrium by.
Yes.
I think this movie was inspired by Fahrenheit 451. So it's a dystopian era, and in the future, people just move to the.
Yes, I'm talking. What about Aziz?
Yes, Salahuddin Jafar, are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think about
Aziz, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, we have 30 seconds, just quick maybe.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just missed this moment. Somebody came and I had to talk to
Yeah, we have 2 questions, and we just have to answer about them, like about this. Do you see those questions? But I guess we don't have time, like 10 seconds.
How many? 11. Okay.
11 seconds. Sure.
Okay, guys, if you wish, you can add during the discussion. Feel free.
Returning to the main session. Как сделали, как
Welcome back, everyone. Hope your discussions were fruitful and you have been able to answer those questions. So the first 2 questions were answered by the first group. However, if you have something to add from the second group as well, or you have your own opinions and thoughts, feel free to join the discussion and answering the questions. All right, so Nargiza, please, probably you will start what you have discussed and what kind of answers you came from, come to.
Okay. Well, we have discussed 2 first questions about the turning point of the Montag, where he begins to think about why am I doing this, and is it right overall? And the question 2 about the whole strategy of Captain Beatty. So together we recalled almost the whole book, and we decided to divide into several steps how Montag came to that conclusion that destroying books is not the right thing. And I guess my colleague or Mr. Praveen can help with this because he has a great memory and he can explain as well.
Yes, Praveen, please join the discussion.
I'm not very sure if I can explain well, because I have read this book about 20 years back, and it's very difficult to recall the content. I can understand, I can recall the context, but the content is simply missing. Having said that, I can tell you that there are a couple of steps. The first thing is his meeting with Clarice on day 1, followed by his second meeting the very next day. That tries to shape his perspective, and when he realizes that Clarice relishes the books, then it becomes a kind of a bit of antithetical for him, for his professional compulsions. He knows that he has to burn books, and then she relishes those books. So that was the first step, where he wonders whether he is on the right path. And the second step, probably insolence. The kind of non-challenge behavior shown by his wife. Every now and then, she was always dismissive of him in some way or the other. Probably that had a huge impact on him. The third step could be the fact that he would always hide some books while he would burn the books, burn down the houses. So deep within he had probably that, I'm not very sure, but he had a small moral compass where he felt that, well, I should not burn books. They are a treasure trove of knowledge. But then he was under kind of coercion from his unit to go and burn them. The fourth point is, I'm not very sure at this point in time if I remember it correct, but then he was burning down some black woman's house, and then he picks up that book, I think the book of Ecclesiastical. He picks that book, and then he starts reading it, and Betty, his boss, understands that this guy has knocked off a book, even while burning down the house. So obviously this Montag wanted some kind of opening for him to understand if reading books is good or not. So his interaction with Professor Faber actually brought in a huge change in the way he would perceive why books are important. So I think all this together, these are the steps I can probably, if I can put together in the chronology, that this is the chronology in which he actually probably felt some kind of what you call, he had some kind of soft corner for books, and he wanted to preserve them. That's my feeling. I'm not really sure because, as I said, 20 years back I read this book.
Thank you very much, Praveen. Anybody to add to this, turning points in Montag biography, which made him, think about books in a different way rather than burning them?
May I add something?
Yes, please.
Well, I totally agree with Mr. Praveen's steps. It's like Clarice and his wife were like really pushing points, but before that, even while he was burning all of those books with his brigade, even though he was telling he is like enjoying the process, but inside he's kind of felt guilty. He wasn't sure that he was doing the right stuff at the moment, and he was uncertain. And Clarice and his wife kind of were pushed him. And there was a story when he burned one lady's house. She kind of, for protecting, she had memorized the book. She told like omnis and burn. If you're gonna burn the books, you're gonna burn me first. You're gonna burn me. And she set fire herself. And it got him think to like why a live person will sacrifice himself in order to protect a book. And like he got deeper and deeper, and he got like changed his whole mindset.
Okay, thank you, Yorkin. Yes, I agree with you. All right, let's move on towards the second question. Anybody can present it. Nargiza, what do you think?
Yeah, of course I can. It's about the knowledge, BT's knowledge about the books. So he said that we stand against the small tide of those who want to make everyone unhappy with conflicting theory and thought. A book is a loaded gun in the house next door. Burn it. Take the shot from the weapon. So here we see that the Captain Betty is convinced that books are bad. Like these are the items that makes people think, and thinking in this society is very bad because you should be somehow manipulated by the state, and this is kind of the state's and the government's strategy. So the knowledge of the Captain BT is that books should not be accessible to those who will be manipulated by the government.
Well, thank you, Nargiza. But I think that the Captain BT is a kind of more kind of complicated character. Although, of course, he is the main antagonist of Montag, and he is doing what he is doing, but he is very well read, and he can recall from Pope, from other authors, quite easily. And when he is telling to Montag that, the books are confusing, he is recalling quite easily, from different authors, providing some conflicting citations. So he is very well read, and he is not really kind of believes in that ignorance is bliss. So he's a kind of complicated figure, but he's anyway on this, on a different track than Montag. He cannot.
On the dark side, yes.
Yes, on the dark side, yes. Although he knows the light side as well, so this kind of things.
There's also kind of plot twist in there. I got it. May I?
Yes, please, Yorkin.
Yeah, there's also kind of plot twist. Like the way when I was reading the book, his character seemed so much complicated for me because, at the first Betty seemed like a fierce person, like a boss who pushes, motivates others. He kind of, at first, you may think that he is doing the right thing. But when you go on, as you said, he also when he was young, I think, was like a Montag guy, because he also has his doubts whether he's doing the right job. But as he got old, he became arrogant and ignorant that he wasted so much time on the wrong side. He doesn't want to acknowledge that, so he stick to that. and as you said, he has read so many books. He also memorized some of them, and he said, I don't have anyone that I love that I haven't betrayed. At the past, he also betrayed the father of the Montag, I guess.
Yeah,
so
that's
he
true.
kind of feels guilty for that.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. All right, thank you. That was a very interesting insight, into the plot of the book. Okay, second group, question 3. Evelina, please provide us what you have been discussed.
All right, thank you. So we discussed 2 questions. We tried to go deep, and we tried to compare with other movies and books on the same topic. And I think question 3 was really well introduced by Jurgen. So I will ask him if he can share what he shared while we were discussing.
Yeah, sure. So the question is why he has chosen as a dystopian novel. As I have agreed with Mr. Praveen's opinion about at that time, the propaganda of there was an era which is called McLaren's era. So there was a concern, a threat, literally a threat of burning books. So Bradbury got concerned about it, and he wrote this. Why he chose dystopian way? Because there are if he would have written it in a utopian way, it would have seemed like imaginary and like something fantastic, and people won't get it serious. But when he chose dystopian way of writing, the dark side, the negative consequences of the storyline, he will get people to think, as we're discussing it right now. So many things happen, consequences, so that's the reason.
Yes, thank you. I think this is it, right? So when we want to better understand something, we need a very acute emotion. And we can get it through thinking deep, through tragic events, maybe, right? And so in order to see all that fire and burning and the losses, that's why I think that the genre of dystopian novel was precisely chosen by Bradbury.
Okay.
Anyone else wants to comment on question 3?
All right,
No?
let's move to question 4.
Let's move to question 4. The question was, how are the books characterized as living creatures? And I think the fullest answer, many people answered, I think that Nazima compared the book to a living creature. So Nazima, would you share, please?
Yes. Throughout the entire novel, we can see that Bradbury compares the books to birds. So he used the bird analogy. And he described the books as white pigeon or snowy feather, the page. So in describing the books as such, Bradbury is symbolizing how books are indeed alive. So they are precious, the birds, beautiful things, and how burning them is as much of a crime as burning living creatures like birds.
Yes, thank you, Nazima. We also mentioned that each person in the book, at the very end, Montag found out that each person was assigned a book to learn. So if that person will be lost, killed, or injured, or something happens to them, it means that they will lose a book. So a person equals book, and book equals to a person, human, right? So books are like birds or humans. And also Kenan Hojaev gave us comparison with the movie. I think many of you have watched that movie, right? Kenan Hojaev, can you share? Please?
Yes, I said about a movie called Equilibrium with a movie star Christian Bale. Probably many of you have seen it. It came to theaters in 2001 or 2 when I was still young schoolboy. So in this movie, so Christian Bale is acting like a Montag. He goes to the various homes and burns books and many arts. So it resembled me the book Fahrenheit 451. And I think there are many movies and books inspired by Fahrenheit 451 as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So, that was an interesting discussion. You know the book quite well, and you were quite deep in your thinking. So this is the best kind of medicine against ignorance and against totalitarian and dystopian way of thinking and society development. All right, we have a couple of minutes. I just want to tell you that if you are interested in facilitating this session, if you are interested in presenting the book which you really like and you want for us to discuss, that's a unique opportunity for you to do that. So we are having sessions once a month, therefore you have enough time to prepare your session. There is also LRC staff at Westminster University who always here to help you with presentation, with discussion questions, with activities which they might suggest you to include. So that's not that difficult to do for facilitator, but it will provide you with opportunity to share what you really like and what you really want others to read. That's kind of things. So if you have any final thoughts for this particular reading, you have a couple of minutes to share with us. You have 5 minutes to share with us. Okay, Praveen, Nazim,
okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You can hear first. Yes, please.
Thank you. Well, I was thinking about a book which is called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The book, as I told you at the beginning, I think this book is really essential, especially for us students, and it doesn't matter the age. Why I'm telling you? Because there's no age restriction. Everyone can and should read it because it's really essential, and it will make a difference. You will feel you will learn something new, or you will rediscover something you already know. So the name is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If everyone agrees, I can facilitate this.
Okay, so Yurkin, we will discuss when you're going to do it, so not to interfere with your study. All right, so anybody else can suggest reading? Praveen.
Can I,
yes, please.
Yeah, can I answer question 3? I mean, I have a small submission to make here.
Okay,
when
please.
you ask why might Bradbury have chosen to write Fahrenheit 451 as a dystopian novel, so I feel books, burning books indicates irrational behavior, right? And in the post-war era period, the post-war era, that was characterized by censorship and xenophobia, if you remember those days
yes.
after the Second World War. So Bradbury was probably trying to portray the dystopian world, that existed during that period. And in a way, he has offered us a kind of platform to reflect on the irrationality of those days. So that is my comment there. And then there is another comment that I have to make on Yurkin's 7 Habits of Successful People. Yurkin, there is another nice, wonderful book by Sidney Finkelstein that says 7 Habits of Unsuccessful People. That's a beautiful book. And I would really love it. If you can read that, and it's a very small book. If you read that and then make a comparative note, that between what you have read and what this book says, it will make a nice, discussion.
Okay,
Can
so
you
we
write
can.
it in the chat?
I will do it. I will do it right away.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other final thoughts about this session and suggestion for the new one? Yes, and suggestion for a new one.
I have final thoughts about this book.
Okay.
To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed by this book because I wanted to read more about the process of changing the society. And the book had several open ends, and you had to infer, such as the destiny of Faber, which wasn't specifically told. And I wish we could have more time with Clarice because her death felt like forced, and I feel like it needed a little bit of work on the world building. I love the characters, but I feel as if the world building needed some touching up. For example, explaining why they hid the history of why they burned books, or quoting houses and in flame-proof material, and why they hid the fact firemen put out fires before this. So I need the continuation of this book. It was end suddenly, so it was a little bit disappointment.
So Nazima, if you think that it has an open end, you can suggest some ending, and we will be reading, for sure that you have suggested. All right, Nazima was kind of disappointed with the ending because it was ambiguous, kind of open.
I guess Ray Bradbury wanted us to think like what will be their fate, or why it started, and propose different solutions or different ideas about it.
Yes, I mean, therefore in the newest movie it was kind of modified, the ending, in terms of the latest development in science, yes, so genetically modified and stuff like that. It's already been modified.
Can I add here?
Yes, I
please.
just wanted to read it from the side of Bradbury. It was for me very interesting to read it, how he thinks about the end, or how he would end this book. I mean, the development, how they would develop the world again, or how they will change the society.
Okay, all right. So, please, Nargiza, yes, you wanted to join the discussion. I'm just looking for who said. Usually, yes, please.
That was me. Yes, I wanted to add to what Nazima said. Nazima was very disappointed with the ending. Actually, I don't think it ended with unhappy. It doesn't end unhappily. I think it ends with hope, giving people hope that there are such kind of people who want to continue, who want to do, who want to read, and just who want these books to have entire life.
All right. Having this wonderful comment, I think that it's going to be the last one because we have only 39 seconds left. So I really enjoyed this session with you. We had a lot of interesting insights, and I hope that you're going to join our sessions in the future as well. Thank you very much, and welcome for new members.
Thank you very much for the interesting club session.
Bye-bye. So nice to see you, everybody. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you next month.
Если бы я не закончила, сказала, у нас было меньше минуты, тогда они бы еще продолжили дискуссию.
Хорошо, они очень активны.